Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Channel Shout Out Moses. I'm your host Moses, and today on Should You Play, I bring to you guys SolSeraph. Now, SolSeraph, I will admit, is a game that I thought was just a 2D platformer, so I immediately mashed the pre-order button because I love 2D platformers. But much to my surprise, after a little bit of research, I found out that this game was a bit more than that. It is also a world-building game, much kind of like Civ. It seems like this game is a spiritual successor to a game called ActRisers back on the SNES. So I decided to keep the pre-order because I was genuinely curious to see how this game holds up and what the differences of this game was. So with that being said, let's kind of jump into the review. Now, the 2D portion, the 2D platforming portion of this game, much to its detriment, seems more of a very straightforward 2D platformer. The enemy attacks seem very predictable, and there doesn't really give you much the imagination of different styles or different ways to play this game. Now, if anything, the hardest part about this game is not really the enemies you fight, but just literally platforming around the world, avoiding all the obstacles, and since you do get damage as you hit enemies, just keep that in mind as well. While you're not able to heal on the go, you do find healing orbs as you move along the game, though they are scarce and hard to find. And to find more, you might have to go through other optional parts of the stage in order to get those heals. So just keep that in mind. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say the game is easy, but it's definitely not a hard game to play. Like I said, the hardest part about the game is just traversing the stages, in my opinion. The enemies all die in about a couple hits. You can charge your sword, you can shoot them with the bow. Though the bow is not infinite, you need to find mana orbs to keep the bow going. The stages seem a bit inconsistent in length. Some of the stages you'll be going for about a good 5 or 10 minutes. Some of the stages you'll probably beat in a good 60 seconds. And some of the bosses don't seem to be the smartest. I did that for 30 straight seconds and he just died. Now, part of the issue is, well, at least this is just a personal problem with me. When there's a game that has inconsistent life with its enemies, which is fine, I prefer them to have health bars, but that's just me. I understand this is a tribute to an old game, so maybe they didn't want that, but I prefer that in how I know I'm going to hit the enemy and how much damage I know is being taken. But again, that's more of a personal thing. And then on to the world building aspect of this game. And to get it out there, I am not a fan of RTS tactics or strategy games. So this was very new to me, as I've only played a couple, maybe games like Fire Emblem, Kessen, Civ, things like that. I played very few hours of those games, so this was kind of new to me. But I do know one thing. I am terrible at all of those games. So the fact that I was able to get around all the enemies this way made it feel like there wasn't a lot of strategy involved in this game. To be honest, I just kept building spikes until all the enemies died before they can reach me. Now, in this part, you're starting to build a world around your bonfire. There's a bonfire, you want to make a village. So you build houses, you build structures, you build farms, you build wells. And then eventually the darkness comes and starts launching enemies at your village and starts attacking your village. At that point, you want to make sure you have barricades, you want to make sure you have walls, archers, swordsmen, things like that. You can upgrade them later with forges, and you even have these magic towers that shoot beams of light at the enemy, even though their placement doesn't seem to be the best. However, it still works. Now, With that being said, they can only travel along the brick road you see here. That brick road is the only way they're coming in and out. So you always know where they're coming from, and doesn't leave you much surprises to get jumped and like Civ. And while I do find it frustrating in the way you have to expand and you'll never be able to get all of your trees to get logs to build materials like houses, I did find it a bit enjoyable for a bit. I think that the world building overstays its welcome. But then again, this could just be caused to me not appreciating a world building game, but I found it very simplistic and overstaying its welcome more than the 2D platforming. And even after you beat the 2D platforming, even after you beat the world building and you go to the 2D platforming again to finish off the bad, it is about 60 seconds, and then you're going right back to world building. Now, the game does allow you to go to the world map and go to other places to play the 2D platforming as you like, but at the same time, I feel like one of them overstays its welcome a bit more. So how do I feel about this game overall? I feel like it's just okay. I feel like the level design of the 2D platforming leaves much to be desired, as well as lack of upgrades, lots of customization, things like that keeps me wanting to play the 2D platforming isn't there. And then with the world building, I also feel like it's too simplistic. Again, I don't play these games, and it took me about 10 minutes to, I feel like, fully understand how to win this game. So I feel like both of them are on the right track and just need a bit more to kind of keep it going. So should you play SolSeraph? That's hard. I don't really think so, to be honest. I think this game is really just okay. If you can get this game for $10, then maybe try it out. But right now, this game's on Switch, PS4, and Steam for about $15, and I think that's about $5 too much. But how'd you guys feel about the game? Do you guys think it lived up to its successor on the SNES? And if you guys like this video, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.